Lil Durk told on King Von. That's how he beat his charges.
Word on the streets was that Lil Durk and King Von were straight up savage homies. From the block grind to billboard fame, they were supposed to be day ones, no doubt. But behind the scenes, it is a whole different story. There's serious talk going around that Durk might have set Von up to get stretched.
Do you feel like Von was set up? Cause I seen you say something about—
Yeah, I always say like that because it don't make sense to me.
The entire hood knows Durk's been keeping a whole lot under wraps about Von, and now that truth is starting to leak out. Let me clue you in on what's really going down. One of the most insane moments that had both Lil Durk and King Von in the deep was that varsity shooting. This wasn't just hood talk, they both caught serious heat with the law, but the way the whole situation shook out had everyone giving it the side eye. Around the crack of dawn, like 5:45 AM on February 5th, 2019, shots rang out in a parking lot by a popular Midtown Atlanta spot. Some 23-year-old dude named Alexander Weatherspoon was losing blood all over the street before he went down right in front of the One Cigar Lounge just as an SUV sped off into the distance. Eyewitnesses told the police that an SUV with 300 plastered on the side was seen hauling ass away from the scene right after the shots, and it was common knowledge on the streets that Durk was driving an SUV exactly like that. Even with that obvious clue, nobody got booked for months. Then, on May 4, 2019, Von was the first one to get knocked for the shooting. Bezu from THF got snatched 9 days after that. Then on May 29, 2019, the APD issued an arrest warrant for Lil Durk. They hit the Chicago rapper with 5 serious felonies: attempted murder, aggravated assault, association with a criminal street gang, possession of a strap during a felony, and felon in possession. That's some heavyweight charges. Durk was out on tour, but he shut it all down and rolled up to Atlanta to surrender himself. Before he did that though, he dropped a track called Turn Myself In, and then sat down with WSB TV, straight up saying he was innocent.
You're about to surrender as we speak. How come?
Because I have nothing to hide. Like, I have nothing to run from.
When they straight up ask if he did it,
Did you do it? Did you shoot this man? Did you commit the other crimes of which you're accused?
No.
but the facts coming out were painting a whole different picture. Jeffrey Churchill, a detective with the Atlanta PD, testified that he had spoken to a woman who was with both rappers that night. According to her account, there was some tension brewing in a ride right in front of them. Then she saw Durk pull out the blicky, which made her run around the building where she heard shots go off. After that, she saw the victim lying out bleeding, and it gets even messier. The detective went on to say they had video evidence showing Von's hand reaching out of the ride and blasting shots at Weatherspoon.
You see Mr. Banks' arm out the window firing several shots at the victim.
To make matters even more intense, the prosecution was trying to frame it as a gang thing, and they even had a Chicago PD captain verify that both Von and Durk were down with the BD Black Disciples. The judge agreed there was enough to go to court, but here's where things get mad Suze. In October 2022, all charges against Durk got dropped. They pinned the whole shooting on King Von, who'd been gone for 2 years already. Fulton County DA Fannie Willis released a statement saying, "If co-defendant Davon Bennett, aka King Von, had not died in 2020, he would have been indicted for this incident." That's the point when everyone started raising eyebrows. How did they drop all the charges against Durk when a witness supposedly saw him with a strap, and there was supposed to be video proof? Why put all the weight on Von when he can no longer speak for himself? Durk's legal team tried to say the case got tossed because the evidence wasn't strong enough, claiming Durk was at the scene but never popped off any shots. All this makes it seem like Durk might be keeping the real story of that night under wraps, possibly leveraging Von's passing to dodge a case they were both facing. If Von truly took the blame for something they both were involved in, that's a heavy truth Durk's holding onto tight. A wild theory connects Lil Durk to King Von's death, beyond the official story of the clash with Quando Rondo's crew. Some whisper Smirk might have played a role in Von's demise. Oddly, Von's cousin Balo claimed the rapper survived 2 surgeries and was supposed to pull through.
One of the things you had said was he had survived 2 surgeries, like he was expected to live at first.
Balo recounted that Von's sister, Kayla B, mentioned Von had 3 scheduled surgeries. After the initial 2, Von supposedly got out of bed, started acting unruly with the nurses, and was asking for his strap. That's when he reportedly succumbed to shock.
His sister, Kayla, she told me, she said that he had 3 surgeries, but he was supposed to have 3 surgeries, he made it to 2. he hopped off the bed after the second surgery, supposedly started fighting the nurse and asked the nurse where's his gun at, something like that. And then he died because he went into shock.
What's super strange is that Von's own sister, Kayla B, who was at the club the night he got shot, reportedly didn't even go to the hospital after she heard what happened to her brother.
She was out there that night, wasn't she?
Was she at the club?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was at the club. She told me she had left and went home. And I guess when she got home, that's when she supposedly had called me.
So she didn't go to the hospital?
No.
That's like her blood brother.
Adding to the suspicion, right after Von passed away, 21 Savage apparently bought Kayla B a brand new Range Rover.
Now, shortly after that, 21 Savage, he bought you a Range Rover?
Yeah.
Even the fans thought this was Seuss, with one saying, Kayla B got a Range Rover for her part in the killing of Von. Kayla B claimed the gift came out of nowhere, but then said she already knew 21 Savage because she was dating his little brother.
And was that random? You knew that was coming, or?
No, I didn't know it was coming. Like, I've been knowing Savage them for a long time, maybe since I moved to Atlanta. Like I told y'all, I was dating his little brother. So it's just like, I already had relationships with them. Like, I've been locked in with them and stuff like this.
This is where things get really shady. 21 Savage later stated that when Von got shot, he was actually with Lil Durk down in Houston.
The night happened, me and Durk at the bowling alley, because we was all in Houston and shit. So we at the bowling alley. I got the call probably 2 minutes after it happened, no exaggeration.
But the streets was quick to catch the cap, because Durk was actually on IG Live when he found out about Von getting shot. What makes this theory hit different is the timing with Durk's legal troubles. When Von got killed, both him and Durk were facing serious time for that varsity shooting in Atlanta. Like we said earlier, after Von died, all Durk's charges got dropped, and they blamed everything on Von. This made some folks wonder if Durk might have been cooperating with authorities, possibly feeding them information on Von to help his own legal situation. Former O-Block affiliates have been highlighting how suspicious this whole timeline appears.
If I'm with you, we do something, you don't report it, but you know I did it, and you don't report it. We go on about our life. You as liable as to the case as I am. What I'm finna go down for, you finna go down for, unless when you get in this behind these doors, you tell me something that I don't know. And then probably a little bit more.
Adding another layer to this wild conspiracy is the story of Durk's lawyer, Nicole Mormon, allegedly pretending to be airport security to search Von, an incident Von reportedly filmed. What makes this even more bizarre is that Nicole supposedly worked with the state for almost 5 years as a felony probation officer and specialized task force agent, meaning she had the skills to go undercover. Even Charleston White, never one to hold back when it comes to Durk, chimed in on this.
Lil Durk told on King Von. That's how he beat his charge.
Some folks also point to what Balo said about Von's bulletproof truck getting switched out the night he got killed.
They switched the truck out from a bulletproof truck to a regular truck. He's a hot artist. Why would y'all do that? The night of all this, it just ain't making sense. But yeah, it was definitely switched out. Mike Close said that shit.
According to Balo, whoever wanted Von out of the picture had a plan in motion, but even if he didn't step out to fight, they were still going to shoot up his car regardless.
Basically, if he didn't get out that car and fight, like whoever wanted him to fight, if he got that car and fight, they would have shot him while he was driving because they switched the truck out. His main driver was an African man. Why was he switched out randomly that night?
The weird thing is, Von's manager, Track 100, kept saying after Von died that he'd been in a bulletproof truck.
Von traveled in a bulletproof truck. Going out the club, he jumped into the bulletproof truck. And it was him and maybe two or three more individuals. Remember, he was in a bulletproof truck, so it wasn't no concern.
Track also said Von wasn't acting like himself that night.
So this man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life as far as knowing how to conduct himself properly. But for some reason that night, it was off.
When they straight up asked Balo if he thought Von got set up, his answer was telling.
Do you feel like Von was set up? Because I seen you say something about...
Yeah, I always say like that because it don't make sense to me. And I just like a lot of fans, it don't be making sense to them either. But even to me, I don't know why it just seem like on my heart, something don't seem genuine, like at all.
DJ U even claimed that, surprisingly, Quando Rondo and his crew were actually at Von's album release party right before the deadly encounter.
Boom numbers at the party.
Now whose party was this album release party?
It was King Von album release party.
Okay.
But Doom them was at the party.
Quando?
Yes, they was at the party.
These theories are just that, theories, but they do bring up a heavy question. What exactly is Durk keeping quiet? Did he play a part, knowingly or unknowingly, in setting Von up to resolve his own legal issues? That's a seriously debated and controversial aspect of their story. Another wild theory suggests Lil Durk might be downplaying how much King Von's beef with NBA YoungBoy was amplified for hype and streaming numbers, a risky tactic that ultimately had tragic consequences. The conflict that indirectly led to Von's alleged involvement in a shooting is often tied to relationship issues.
Ain't Von situation. It's dumb. All over. It looked like it was over girls to me.
Oh yeah, I mean they say the King Von situation was over Jania, who was NBA YoungBoy's baby mother.
Yeah.
But they weren't even together at the time.
But digging deeper, it looks like Von might have been intentionally provoking YB to generate buzz around his rising career. It kicked off with Von throwing shade at YB on IG Live, questioning his street credibility.
Young boy talking about on this song, bro.
What?
He talking crazy on this man.
Oh yeah?
He ain't even like that. On his ass now. You got Cap in your rap.
What's notable is that YB, who was already a much bigger artist at the time, was seemingly ignoring Von's disses. This makes it appear as though Von might have been trying to create a rap rivalry to boost his own profile.
Von seemingly was like, let me try and get this rap beef thing for clout to supercharge my career. He ended up getting YoungBoy's baby mama Jania at some sort of studio session. There was talk that they were going to make a song together. There was rumors that they slept together. And you know, then YoungBoy ends up getting Asian Doll over his house to do a song. There's rumors that they slept together.
Von turned up the heat by getting at YB's baby mama Jania. He tweeted, "Wouldn't believe the female I just made a hit with." Not long after, pics of him and Jania hit the internet, making everybody think they were messing around. Jania tried to kill the rumors by saying they were just cooking up in the studio.
I've been working. We have a song coming out. Y'all wasn't supposed to know, but it is what it is now. We have a song coming out. So when the song come out, just know it's hard as you feel me. I'm gonna be a website ready for the street. I'm just trying to get my money to take care of my son. Period.
But Von's girlfriend at the time, Asian Doll, clapped back at that, suggesting there was definitely something real going on between Von and Jania.
Send them DM. I seen it. So all that song, this shit.
YB finally clapped back with an IG post saying, "I'm gonna make sure my son f***ed your daughter since you trolling bitch," which was clearly aimed at Von, who had a daughter. In what looked like get back, YB allegedly linked with Asian Doll, even texting his producer using a phone. A theory suggests Von's beef with NBA YoungBoy was hyped for clout, a strategy with deadly real-world consequences. While relationship drama is often cited, Von might have been intentionally provoking YB for attention, especially since YB initially ignored him. Though Von's girlfriend denied it was fake, the escalating online tension fueled real-world conflicts, culminating in the fatal encounter with Quando Rondo. Durk might be concealing if this beef was partly manufactured to protect Von's image and his own reputation. Regarding King Von's street reputation, the documentary King Von, rap's first serial killer, made shocking claims about his alleged involvement in numerous deaths. This raises questions about Durk's knowledge and potential involvement. The documentary linked Von to over 10 alleged killings, suggesting he lived the violent life he portrayed in his music. One highly publicized case was the 2014 murder of Gakura Barnes K.I., a female gang member shot multiple times. Although initially identified by witnesses, charges against Von were dropped due to insufficient evidence. However, in 2022, police reports posthumously identified Von as K.I.'s shooter, describing an individual in a grey hoodie and blue jeans who opened fire on 3 victims before fleeing in a vehicle. Adding to this, J Hood, a former O Block member and close associate of Von, claimed Von confessed to the killing.
And then Von walked up to me, and I shook his hand. He like, look straight. And then I look straight, and I'm like, why are you telling me to look straight? He like, look straight, and what I'm finna say to you, don't look at me after I tell you.
J Hood said Von told him he shot 3 people, with K.I. being the last one he dropped.
I just run up on K.I. and you know why I just ran up on them niggas and called K.I. She was the last one running out of the gate.
The documentary King Von, rap's first serial killer, alleges Von was involved in numerous murders, including Model McCambry, Lil Mark, and Gakura Barnes K.I. Model was fatally shot along with his cousin, with Von suspected as the merciless shooter. Lil Mark was gunned down at a bus stop from a getaway van later torched, with police now suspecting Von. While initially cleared, Von was posthumously linked to K.I.'s murder by police reports and a confession to a former associate. The documentary's claim of Von and Durk slide together 2017-2019 suggests Durk's potential knowledge and involvement in these alleged crimes, raising questions about what Durk might be concealing. One of the most shocking allegations implicating both Lil Durk and King Von centers around the murder of FBG Duck, a rival Chicago rapper shot dead in Chicago's upscale Gold Coast on August 4, 2020. FBG Duck was a significant rival to Durk and Von in Chicago's drill scene, with beef extending beyond music into deep-seated gang rivalries. Duck's flyboy gang, FBG, had a long history of conflict with Durk's OTF label and O Block, Von's neighborhood. The tension escalated dramatically when FBG Duck released diss tracks targeting deceased O Block and OTF members. In Dead Bitches, released just a month before his murder, Duck directly disrespected T-Roy and Odie, two fallen O Block members rapping. Said I wasn't gon' diss the dead, and okay I did it, but T-Roy and Odie them dead bitches. This disrespect got King Von's attention, who slid in Duck's DM saying, I'm really helping you out, you feel me? Cause your shit ain't hitting on nothing. No motherfuckers talking about you feel me? You welcome Goofy. Duck clapped back, calling Von a fan. You really needed to mention me for your shit to do numbers like all your other shit. Silly ass boy. I've been a topic you know that. Just say you a fan Lil BD. Just weeks after that verbal jab, FBG Duck was gunned down. His murder was captured on surveillance video, and the details were gruesome. Footage showed a black vehicle pull up to a store and masked shooters jump out, immediately opening fire as Duck attempted to flee. The shooters then sped off in the black car, followed by a grey Chrysler. Additional footage showed the grey Chrysler pulling up to O Block with a police car right behind it, in a chilling acknowledgement of the motive behind Duck's murder. Boss Top, a close associate of King Von, later stated in an interview,
Like everything like that? Oh no, I'm gay. All I know, don't say that shit about Troy or rest peace.
he doubled down moments later.
Don't say shit about Troy. That's it.
Just 1 month after Duck's murder, King Von dropped a track called GTA, which seemed to reference the hit with bars like, he made a diss, and now he a ghost, and it happened fast, we need to toast. Here's where the conspiracy thickens. Rumors suggest King Von may have offered a $100 K bounty for FBG Duck's murder. A federal informant claimed the person who paid for the hit gifted the killer's custom O-Block chains. Footage later surfaced of King Von giving O-Block members custom chains. However, some Chicago sources whisper that Lil Durk might have been the one who actually ordered the hit on Duck and compensated the shooters.
I don't think Von paid them guys. I'm sorry to tell the world.
FBG Butter, a member of Duck's crew, suggested examining the arrest locations of the suspects to uncover the truth behind the murder. He pointed out that 2 key suspects, Muap and C Murder, were not apprehended in O Block.
Everybody arrest video coming out from when they got arrested for this Duck case.
Yeah.
They ain't show Muap or C Murder's happening.
Instead, the narrative suggests they were picked up at a private hangar, implying transportation via private jet, a luxury seemingly beyond the means of typical O Block members. This detail fuels speculation about a higher power orchestrating and funding the hit.
Them boys got snatched at the airport on a private hangar.
What makes this extra soothes that Von was already gone when they got arrested, leaving only one person with the bread to charter a PJ for these dudes, Lil Durk.
Von is dead, right?
Okay,
Well, how the fuck is these paying for a jet?
Adding more fuel to the fire. On October 9th, 2024, FBG Duck's mother, Lashina Weekly, filed a lawsuit against Durk, Von's estate, and others, alleging they conspired to murder Duck, with claims that Von placed a $100,000 bounty on him, possibly with Durk's knowledge. The lawsuit, aiming for significant financial compensation, alleges that OTF operates as a cover for illegal actions. If these allegations hold true, it would suggest Durk is concealing his potential role in orchestrating FBG Duck's murder, possibly using Von's reputation to deflect suspicion. This would be a deeply damaging secret with serious legal ramifications, particularly given the ongoing lawsuit. The final potential secret Lil Durk might be keeping under wraps concerns King Von's musical legacy and the management of his unreleased music after his passing. This involves family disputes and accusations about who is truly profiting from Von's name in his absence. One of the most explosive allegations came from Von's child's mother Kemma, who publicly accused Von's sister, Kayla B, of allegedly stealing hard drives containing Von's unreleased tracks. In a fiery exchange on Twitter in February 2021, Kemma stated, "She stole stole his hard drives with his other music. You're trying to destroy his legacy. Everything that's Von's belongs to Von Mom. You so rich, why stealing from your brother? Oh, that's sick as hell. Camo also dragged Caleb for allegedly capping about Von's relationship with his son. This coming from the same lady who told Von my son, not his. She was jealous. I had my son on Von's birthday, called me weird instead of being happy you had a nephew, which is why I don't f with you and never will be. Caleb hopped on Twitter to defend herself, denying the accusations. I never heard about no music being leaked, making it seem like I had to lie so Von could do shit when he did, and was gonna do whatever, especially if I asked never told me no, even if he said no first I still got it. A potential final secret for Durk involves King Von's unreleased music and legacy, sparking family disputes over control. Von's baby mama accused his sister, Caleb of stealing hard drives with over 300 unreleased tracks. As Von's label boss, Durk likely knows about these tracks, and has rights to some, but has stayed silent on the family drama. Questions also surround the handling of Von's image, including his community support, which Durk would have known. Lastly, a close relationship between Von and Caleb fueled online rumors, which she denied.
I was sick, nasty. Do I look like I'm from down south? Me and my brother, we from Chicago. We're not from down south where people brothers and sisters with y'all nasty, dirty.
Durk's monetization of Von's death is another potential secret. His frequent name drops and dedicating the voice album with Von on the cover raise questions about profiting versus honoring. If Durk is significantly benefiting financially from Von's posthumous work, or using his death for career advancement, he'd likely keep it quiet. The line between tribute and exploitation is blurry, and Durk might be hiding the business aspects, influencing how he keeps Von's memory alive. Ultimately, Durk might be silent on the management of Von's musical legacy, the true dynamics within Von's inner circle, personal and financial, and his own potential financial gain from Von's passing. These secrets highlight the complex interplay of friendship, business, and legacy shaping their relationship both in life and death.